All right, midseason awards. We are exactly halfway through the 2021 regular season. Biggest season ever, 17 games. Tom Brady thinks it's stupid to have 17 games. He really unloaded on that. He did. I'm not being sarcastic on his latest Let's Go podcast, and commented on the imbalance in power between the owners and the players.
Yep.
And it's always been there, and it always will be, Tommy, long after you're gone, if you ever do indeed retire. MVP so far is your choice. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, someone else. Who do you have? Tom Brady's currently the betting favorite according to PointsBet, Chris.
Yeah, listen, I understand Brady being the favorite. I do. I mean, of course, they're really good, and they're going to continue to put up stats and stats and stats and stats. I mean, not only is he going to strike from 30 and 40 yards out from touchdowns, but, Bruce Arians, he's trying to get Byron Leftwich a job, too. I mean, when they're on the 1-inch line, they're going to throw for a touchdown. That's what they do. We're 3 hairs away from the touchdown. Let Tommy throw it in. Boom, touchdown. So I can understand him certainly being like the leader as far as that's concerned. I don't see them losing a lot of football games from here on out. He's got weapons, a good system, and he's still throwing the hell out of that football.
Yeah. So you picked Stafford?
My pick is Stafford, yes.
Final answer.
Final answer. I'm going with Matthew Stafford. How'd you know? I didn't even say it yet. I didn't, but yeah. Oh, you were waiting.
I was waiting. I didn't, yeah.
I didn't know. Sorry.
I'm really torn on this one, and it's look, when the dust settles on the season,
yeah,
the number 1 seed in each conference, the quarterback of that team, one of those 2 teams will be the MVP. There's not going to be a Derrick Henry assault on the all-time single-season rushing record. There's nobody who is threatening any all-time receiving records. It's going to be the quarterback of the 1 seed in the AFC or the 1 seed in the NFC. And but I'm not ready to give it to Kyler Murray.
I hear you.
The current 1 seed in the NFC. And I'm not ready to give it to Ryan Tannehill of the Titans, the 1 seed in the AFC. I'm going to say Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I think what Lamar Jackson's doing this year is special, and we have seen his game evolve from the perspective of he's bringing the team back from deficits. That was the big knock. Once they fall behind, they can't win. Well, they were down 14 points in the second half on Sunday against the Vikings, and they won the game. So, he's running, he's throwing, and regardless. All right.
But I like your pick there, Mike, though. You're right. Again, I know we played a clip before this segment for my podcast. I mean, again, what was this, his third or fourth 14-point comeback in the fourth quarter? But it just, to me, it flies under the radar for some reason with, like, Lamar Jackson. I don't know why. But just nobody quite gives it, like, if that was Mahomes or Josh Allen or Rodgers or Brady, it would just be like, oh, my gosh, he's so clutch. He's amazing. Look what he does. And for some reason with Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, it kind of just gets swept under the rug. Like, oh, okay. Like, what do you mean, okay? I mean, he's the team. Their defense ain't that great this year. Their running game ain't that great. It's all him. So, like, I hear you on that, and I'm glad you picked him. It's a little bit. Hey, listen, I picked Matthew Stafford. I'd like to explain that just real quick a little bit.
I was going to invite you to.
Thank you.
Apologize for not doing it earlier.
No, all good. But Stafford again. First off, the success has happened much quicker than I think anybody has anticipated. Let's not be prisoners of what happened last Sunday. I know it wasn't great. I get it. He made 2 bad mistakes, but they're a different football team, and they're continuing. I mean, I would be shocked if they don't continue to get better. I mean, halfway through the year, he's still on a new team and still probably learning the system, and they're slowly adding more and more and getting to know each other. I mean, we saw this with Brady and the Bucs last year. Let alone, when he was in Detroit, he's the worst guy ever. And, oh, my gosh, Matthew Stafford, he'll make sure you don't make the playoffs every year. Well, what do you got to say now about that? And, other than Russell Wilson, who hasn't played a bunch of games, his quarterback rating's the highest in football. He's up there with touchdown passes, only 2 behind Brady as far as the lead in that category. Explosive plays, 20-point blowouts. Those are all towards the top of the list for the Rams offense, and that's because of one guy. We didn't see that crap the last few years with Jared Goff at quarterback. Look what he's done. And their running back's banged up, and they don't have that every week, and we still don't even think anything of it now. So That's where I feel like as passionate about Stafford as the Lamar Jackson thing you talked about there too. For some reason, don't quite get the credit they deserve.
Are we concerned that the Rams have had their code cracked by the Titans and the blueprint is now out there on how to properly defend the Matthew Stafford-led LA offense?
No, I'm not concerned with that. Vrabel and Shane Bowen, defensive coordinator there, they are, I've said this a few times in my podcast the last 2 weeks, them and the New England Patriots, to me, are the best zone defensive teams in football. They're amazing. They can pass people off from zone to zone and make it really tough. They're really well coached up on that side of the ball. And then, of course, the Titans have a front four right now that is continuing just to go upwards. Bud Dupree continues to get more and more healthy. Harold Landry's having the best year of his career. We've seen Jeffrey Simmons. We know how dominant he can be. And then them getting Danico Autry to where, Mike, they have one of those teams that we talk about a lot. They don't really ever have to blitz. Their front four can get there, and if they do blitz, it's like 2 guys blitz, but 2 guys drop out, and it's still a 4-man rush. So, no, I'm not concerned about that. I think McVay and Stafford will plan accordingly going forward, and not everybody's that Titans defense, which is hot right now.
All right, midseason award, Defensive Player of the Year. Chris, you're up.
It's the first time in, we've gotten to this point in the year in, 3 or 4 years where I go, it's not Aaron Donald. That's what I do know. All right? I'm going Myles Garrett. I am. And Myles Garrett, to me, is clear. I think clearly the best pass rusher in football. I like T.J. Watt a lot. I don't think he can rush the passer like Myles Garrett. And Myles Garrett's a force in the run game. He's a true game plan changer. Just like Aaron Donald was, you have to be aware of where he is, what you're going to do against him in certain situations. T.J. Watt, really awesome football player, I get that. But to me, on a week-to-week basis, when I look at a guy who really affects the game, man, Myles Garrett, I think, does it more than anybody in football right now.
I think T.J. Watt, just because of the importance of the defense this year in Pittsburgh, to pick up the slack for the offense. And
got a little more
even if he's not effing up the play every snap, he's got that knack in the right moments.
He does.
To make the big play, get the big sack, give the crowd a nice little kick in the butt. Happened the other night. We seem to see it more often than not. And earning that big contract that he got by skipping all of training camp in the preseason. When a guy does that and then isn't effective, we're quick to say, if he just would have been practicing, he'd be better. Let's make sure we give credit to the fact that the Steelers and Watt realized he didn't really need to be doing all that stuff in training camp in the preseason. He came out. Yeah. He's been pretty good.
Freak show.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Chris, who do you got?
Well, to me, the offensive stuff is, unless Mac Jones, I love it, certainly can be in that conversation. But I'm going Jamar Chase all the way. Jamar Chase, it hasn't been, on fire the last 2 weeks. He had some drops in the game last week. But still, he's one of the best receivers in football. Forget rookies. Has any receiver this year changed games or made more game-changing plays than Jamar Chase? I don't think so. I really don't. I could be forgetting somebody, but I got to go with him. I do. He's just been too special. He's changed that football team in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Chase is the guy, although he set the great narrative early.
Yeah, right.
And it's kind of dropped off. When it's funny. The drops happen in the preseason. It's a big deal. Then he catches everything in sight for the first 6-7 weeks of the season. Yeah. Now there's starting to be some drop issues, and that's not going to change the narrative that he's great. And at this point, he's done enough that he's the Offensive Rookie of the Year. However, this is a point MDS made yesterday on PFTPM because we do weekly awards, and he made Devontae Smith of the Eagles his Offensive Rookie of the Week. Is there a way that Devontae Smith overtakes Jamar Chase? Is there a way that Mac Jones overtakes Jamar Chase? Who would be the guy that you look to and say, if someone's going to make a run and topple Jamar Chase in the second half of the season, it's this guy?
Smith has that kind of talent. He's right up there with Jamar Chase. It's just he doesn't have Joe Burrow. And I think the Eagles have kind of taken the approach the last few weeks, we're going to run, and we're going to run, and we're going to run, and we're going to run. And every now and then we'll throw to Smith. So that's where I think it'll hurt him ultimately. The Mac Jones one's the one I look at, Mike. because like you said it a little before with like the number 1 seed thing and the MVP and the quarterback in each conference. Like, I feel like, yeah, New England keeps doing what they're doing and they get in the playoffs with a rookie quarterback and end up the year, again, I don't know, 11-6, whatever, man, 10-7, however it is, and they get in the playoffs that way. I mean, hey, it's not easy to play quarterback in football, let alone be a rookie, let alone being the guy that has basically have to replace Tom Brady, let alone you were like the most polarizing pick in the draft last year, because how dare you take him at number 3? How dare you? Or take him, like, which is all stupid, to remind everybody, but I do look at him as the guy to upset Jamar Chase.
And I think you're right. If they make it to the playoffs, that's going to be the key.
Yeah.
As a rookie, he will, I'm thinking, the 49ers, I mean, Trey Lance isn't playing. The Jaguars have no chance. The Jets have no chance. He'd be the only one who's making it to the playoffs out of the 5. However, Justin Fields has looked pretty good the past couple of weeks.
No doubt.
Can you be the rookie of the year from a team that is, 6-11? I don't know.
If he makes plays like he did the other night and continues to do that, then yes, he can. Because, to me, that's different than, what Mac Jones is doing great. They're managing him in the offense a little bit. But, Justin Fields has shown, moments of, no, he is the offense. Your offensive system's not good in Chicago. You don't have that much to offer. And he's making great plays and great throws and, doing some great scrambles and runs, too, to add on to it. So I would say, yes, if we continue to see kind of what we've saw in the last few weeks, I'm certainly not going to hate on that at all.
Pete mentions that Justin Herbert from a bad team was the offensive rookie of the year last year at quarterback. But there wasn't another rookie quarterback taking his team to the playoffs.
That's right.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the question. Mac Jones, meat and potatoes, takes his team to the playoffs. Justin Fields, think of how good he would be if they just would have made him the guy from day one. There's plenty of reason for promise and hope in Chicago, but there's also room for regret. If they had just handed him the keys from day one, how much farther along would he be right now? Anyway, I don't rule him out because
I don't think you should.
What we saw the other night was spectacular. All right, we got a couple more to do real quickly. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think we're in agreement on this one, and I don't know who else we would pick.
Exactly. It's Micah Parsons. A little bit like what we just said with Jamar Chase. I mean, I don't know. You probably feel the same way.
Those odds say it all. Look at those odds.
Right.
He's minus 150, and everybody else is in a 10-1 or longer, 11-1 or longer odds.
Yeah, I mean, forget Rookie of the Year. I mean, Micah Parsons is one of the best defensive players in the NFL right now, period. I don't care if he's a rookie or in year 5. He's up there. Let alone hey, we're a little banged up. Can you play defense end for a few weeks for us? Oh, whoa, damn, he's good at that too. I mean, he's already one of the best middle linebackers in football. So that one is a no-brainer. I think they should just start carving his name into the award and hand it to him here soon.
All right, I agree with you there, and it will be a stunner if he doesn't win it. Last one, Coach of the Year. Who do you have?
Okay. I want to give an honorable mention to Matt LaFleur, all right? Can I just say that right off the bat?
You just said it.
Well, yeah, I know. I did just say it. I don't know why I asked. The hell with asking you. Thank you. But can we give the guy a little bit more respect? I mean, it's just every year he has to deal with something, and he deals with it in such a great way. There's always turmoil ever since he took over the Green Bay Packers franchise, and all he does is continue to be a calming, steady voice that puts out great game plans, and they win football games, And what I also like is, he's getting tougher and meaner, too. Even last week during the press conference, and they were asking about Rodgers, and he's like, well, don't ask it. I can't remember the guy's name. Well, don't ask it, Jim. Don't ask it then. I mean, I like that. Yeah, good. Be a jerk a little bit. He could do that. But, all right, so now I'm going to Cliff Kingsbury, though. I'm going to Cliff Kingsbury. Seat was hot. Everybody was kind of on his offense, and he's changed his approach on the offensive side of the ball. He's added more wrinkles to the offense in general. They've gotten Kyler Murray playing much, much better within the pocket. And, yeah, there was a lot of question marks about this guy going into the year, and here they are sitting as one of the best teams, if not the best team in football. I'm going to give him his respect, because there was a lot of question marks about him going into the season.
I am going to go with Mike Vrabel based upon, in large part, what I saw on Sunday night.
Sure.
Because, and this is the Bill Belichick influence. Even though he never worked for Bill Belichick, he played for Belichick long enough to understand that when someone gets injured, there are no excuses.
Yeah.
We just keep going.
Yep.
We don't feel bad. We don't feel like it's not our year. We don't do anything other than adhere to the standard that we have set for ourselves and for the organization and everyone who works for it. We just keep going. Is the next guy going to be as good? No, but we expect the next guy to do his job. And that's what they did. And they recovered from that, and they got the win, and they're currently the number 1 seed in the AFC. They've won 5 in a row, 4 in a row while underdogs. And they lost to the Jets. That could be disqualifying.
No,
but I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I think he's done a great job, and he's underappreciated. I'm not going to say he's completely unappreciated,
100.
but he's definitely underappreciated.
I agree. I know we got to go to break, but I'm glad you picked him too. Because he does. He deserves a lot of love. And we always talk about managing games, situational football. To me, Vrabel's up there with anybody in doing that stuff. I mean, come on. We saw him bend the rules in the playoff game against the Patriots a few years ago and use Belichick's trick on himself. His team goes into every game, and I go, that's the right way to play this team. It doesn't always end up being a win, but he gives them a fighting chance week after week. He's a phenomenal head coach.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.